All right, we're about to dive deep into a career that's, well, it's not your typical climb the corporate ladder story.
Oh, definitely not.
This is about Peter Csathy,
Yeah.
Harvard law grad,
Mm-hmm.
but a total master of deal making, business development, all that, and navigating the crazy world of media.
Absolutely.
He's been a CEO, a top executive at places like Speed, Music Match, and get this negotiated billion-dollar deals. Like, it's no big deal.
It's pretty impressive. What really strikes me about Csathy's journey is how he uses his legal background. He doesn't just advise from the sidelines. He jumps right in, becomes a major player in shaping these companies he works with.
So it's like he flipped the script on Lawyer Up, right?
Yeah.
He's not just the legal safety net, he's calling the shots.
Exactly.
But where does someone like this even begin?
Well, that Harvard law education, it's huge. It's not just about the laws themselves. It's learning to think strategically, analyze those complex situations, and negotiate really effectively. Those are invaluable skills anywhere, but especially in these high-stakes situations Csathy finds himself in.
So like the ultimate business boot camp, but disguised as a law degree.
Yeah, I like that.
But I'm guessing that's just the start. What were some of those early moves that put him on the map?
Well, take Music Match, for example. Think back when people were still holding on to their CD collections.
Oh, yeah.
Csathy was leading this company that was pioneering this whole idea of subscription-based music streaming. Totally revolutionary idea that, well, it kind of defines how we listen to music today.
Hold on. So he wasn't just riding the digital music wave. He was building the surfboard.
Exactly. And it's not just having the idea, it's the execution.
Mm-hmm.
Csathy led Music Match through all that, building the technology, getting the licensing rights, attracting users, and eventually it led to that huge acquisition by Yahoo, $160 million.
Talk about hitting the right notes. This was way before Spotify, Apple Music, any of that. It's like he was playing chess while everyone else was still figuring out checkers.
Perfect analogy. That ability to spot trends and capitalize on them, that's a hallmark of his career. And it's not just music. He did the same thing with video communication at Speed.
Oh, right.
A company that let people make high-quality video calls over the internet way before Zoom became, Zoom.
Okay, so I'm seeing a pattern. This isn't just luck. This is a guy who sees potential before anyone else does. How do you even develop that kind of vision?
It's a mix of things, I think. Understanding technology deeply, a keen eye for market trends, willing to take calculated risks, and, well, maybe a bit of that Harvard law problem-solving magic. But there's another part of Csathy's success we haven't touched on yet, building and leading really strong teams.
You can't build a billion-dollar company solo, right?
No way. And Csathy's got a proven track record attracting top talent, fostering innovation, and getting his teams to reach these really ambitious goals. You see it in the successful exits of companies he's led. Speed, which was acquired by Logitech, and more recently, his venture fund's investments in promising startups that are pushing the boundaries of, AI and machine learning.
Wait, did you say AI?
Yeah.
That's a whole other level.
It is.
What's his involvement there?
That's where things get even more in the 90s and early 2000s. In recent years, Csathy's been focusing more and more on AI. More authenticity. He sees potential. Entertainment back then so many less manufactured, and he's not just on getting that perfect. He's actively shaping the conversation around AI ethics and advocating for responsible development.
So he's not just building
looking
the
for
future.
something
He's
real,
making sure
something
it's a
that's
future
not
we
all
actually
polished
want.
and perfect.
That's
Exactly.
impactful leadership.
And don't forget
right
about
there.
how social
sure.
dynamics were different.
And it
back
brings
then.
us to another side of
good
his
point.
career.
Before we
sharing
were all
his
glued
knowledge
to
and
social
experience.
media.
He's a
Interactions felt
speaker,
more
writer,
organic,
podcaster,
It
always
wasn't all
talking to
about
people about
crafting this
entrepreneurship,
perfect
tech.
online persona.
The it was
future of work, all
about
that.
genuine connection.
He's not just
Totally
hoarding
like his success.
Life back then was
He's
just
trying to help
others
less
succeed
filtered.
too.
That's performance.
You weren't
Pretty
constantly
admirable,
especially in an
bombarded with
industry
images
that
of
could be
these,
seemingly
ruthless.
perfect lives.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And
Which,
it
let's
shows
be
his
honest, can be
belief
super
in
overwhelming.
mentorship
It can
and
be
making
soul-crushing.
things more fair and accessible
Seriously.
for
And there's
aspiring
also this
entrepreneurs
whole
and
idea
innovators.
of community.
You see this with
Okay,
Creative
community,
University,
how so?
too.
Oh,
Back
right.
then,
A nonprofit
there was
that
more
gives free
emphasis on
education
shared
and
experiences
experiences
to
Okay.
young people
Like watching
who
a
want
TV show
careers
premiere
in
together
the
or
creative
listening
industry.
to the same
So we're talking
album.
about someone
Right,
who's
like
not
everyone
just
would gather around
building
the water
companies
cooler
and making
and
deals,
chat
about what happened
but
on Friends the night
actively
before.
shaping
Exactly.
entire
That's something Gen Z
industries
might be missing.
And
You think so?
empowering the
Yeah,
next
that feeling
generation.
of being part
This is
of
feeling
something.
less
And that's why
like
I
a
think
deep
their
dive and more like
fascination
an
with the
expedition
pre-tech
into the
era
mind of a
goes
visionary.
beyond just
And we're just getting
entertainment.
started.
Okay, so it's deeper
There's
than
so
that.
much
Yeah,
more
it's a
to
reflection of
explore
their
about
values,
Peter
Csathy,
You know,
from
I
his
see
approach
that.
like
to
they're
deals and
yearning for something
negotiations
more
to his
meaningful
insights on building
than
successful
this
businesses and his
constantly
thoughts on
connected
technology technology and how it's
digitally
affecting
driven
society.
Like they're
You said at the
pushing
beginning
back
we
against the
shouldn't
pressure to always
underestimate
be
that Harvard
on.
law
Exactly.
education. It's almost like they're
But now
longing
I'm
for a
thinking,
simpler time.
it's not just the school.
when life felt
It's the man
less
himself.
filtered, less about technology.
This is someone who
and
takes
more
knowledge
about
and turns it into
genuine
action.
human connection.
He sees opportunity
Right, and it's
where others see
interesting, 'cause
uncertainty,
like with most
and he
things,
pushes boundaries.
there are two sides to this.
Okay.
I'm
While
hooked.
nostalgia can be
What's
super
next on this
powerful,
Chotty adventure?
relying too heavily
Let's
on
dig
it
into
can
some of those
backfire.
billion-dollar
Okay, so let's talk
deals
about
he
some of the potential
negotiated.
downsides
Remember
of
Music
nostalgia
Match and
marketing.
Yahoo?
Yeah.
There's a
especially in
fascinating
entertainment.
story there.
Well,
It
one of
shows
the
a
biggest
lot about
risks
how
is
Chotty
ending up with
negotiates
something
and
that feels
navigates
like
this complex
a
business
cheap
situation.
imitation of the original.
Ready to
Oh,
hear
yeah,
how
like a
he
knockoff.
outmaneuvered
Right, like
some
the
of the biggest
2016
names in tech?
Ghostbusters
Bring it
reboot.
on.
Okay.
I'm all
They
ears.
tried to capture
Okay,
the
so
magic
picture
of the
this.
original,
It's
but
the
it just
early
felt
2000s.
flat.
Like a pale imitation.
The internet,
Yeah,
it's
and a
still
lot of
kind
people
of
were
like
disappointed.
finding
Yeah,
its
it's a
legs.
tough balance
Wild
to strike.
West
Days of
It
the
is.
internet.
Yeah,
You want to
exactly.
honor the past,
dial-up
but
was
also
still a
create
thing,
something
and we
new and
thought like
exciting.
downloading
That
a song
resonates
in
with
under
today's
5
audience.
minutes,
Right,
that
and
was
sometimes you can
blazing fast.
alienate
Blazing
younger
fast.
viewers.
Yeah.
And
how
back
so?
then,
By
paying a
leaning too
monthly
hard
fee
on
for all
elements
the
from the
music you
past.
could listen
Like
to,
the Star Wars
that
sequel
seemed
trilogy.
crazy.
It was
Visually,
like
they were
amazing.
amazing.
Total
They
pipe
were.
dream. I mean,
But some people
everyone was still
criticize
buying
them
CDs,
for
or let's
relying
be
too
honest,
much on plot
ripping
points from the original
MP3s,
film.
Sharing.
sharing,
So
yeah.
they felt
Napster,
unoriginal.
all that. So
And then there's the
that's where
danger of
Music
running
Match
out of
comes in.
ideas.
Right.
And
This
what happens
company
then?
that had
You end
this
up resorting to
totally
gimmicks to
radical
try and recreate
idea
that old
for
magic.
like the
Like
future
Indiana
of how we'd
Jones
actually
and the
listen
Kingdom
to
of the
music.
Crystal Skull.
Okay,
And of
what
course,
about
at
it?
the helm,
It
Peter
felt like they
Chotty,
were relying
who
way
seems
too
to have a
much on
knack for being
CGI
ahead of the
and
game.
crazy
Always
action
ahead of the
scenes.
curve.
Yeah.
But it wasn't
Just to
all
try and
smooth sailing,
recapture the
right?
magic of the
I
original.
mean, they had to
Instead
deal
of
with
creating a story
record
that felt
labels,
authentic.
competition,
Right,
all
it
those
felt
tech challenges
forced.
that
And don't forget about
seemed
market
impossible
saturation.
back then. Okay,
Oh,
market
yeah.
saturation.
A ton of hurdles.
When
So how did
every
they go from
studio
this
is trying to
tiny
cash in on
startup
nostalgia,
to
audiences can get
$160
tired
million
of it.
dollar
Yeah, like they've seen it all
acquisition
before.
target? That's
Right,
what I
they
want
want something well, new. a lot
Like
of
the
it was
Netflix
Chotty,
reboot of
his
Full House,
thinking
Fuller
and
House.
his
It
ability
was
to,
all
like,
catchphrases
build
and
real
references
trust
from the
with these
original,
key
but it
players.
just didn't
He
have that
understood
same
that the
spark.
music
It fell
industry, they were
flat.
hesitant
It
about
did.
this
So
whole
it all
digital
comes
thing.
back
Makes
to
sense.
Right, so he
finding that
focused on
balance.
creating a
Honoring the
platform
past
that
without
worked
just
for both
copying it.
artists
Exactly,
and
know
the
your
people
audience.
listening.
Yeah, you
Right,
can't
know
just
your
disrupt an
audience.
Don't just
industry without
assume
getting
that
everyone
anything
on
from the
board.
90s will
Exactly.
automatically
He
resonate
worked
with Gen
directly
Z.
with record
Yeah, you
labels
can't
to
just
get
slap
those
a familiar
licensing
logo on
agreements, made
something
sure
and
artists
expect
got
it to
paid
work.
fairly.
Exactly.
And you
You have to
made the
dig deeper.
platform
Okay,
really
so how do you do that?
user-friendly.
You need to figure
Tons
out
of music,
which specific
easy to
elements
use.
from that era
So he was
will
basically
actually
laying the
connect with
groundwork
them.
for what all the
So it's
music
not just
streaming
about the
services
product
are
itself.
today.
Oh,
It's about
absolutely. He was
understanding
building the
the
model.
values and experiences that
the
shaped a
really
generation.
genius move.
Right. It's
When
about
he
tapping
started
into those
talking
shared
to
memories and emotions that
potential
create a
buyers,
sense of belonging.
Right.
You have to
By
honor
this
the past
point,
while
Music
also
Match
creating
was a
something new
leader
and
in the
exciting.
streaming world.
That speaks to
Millions of
today's
users,
audiences.
good revenue.
Right, like how
So
Nike
it caught the
uses
eye of
Michael
some big
Jordan's
players,
legacy
I
to
imagine.
promote
Oh,
their
yeah.
new sneakers.
You had
Yeah.
Yahoo,
They're always
AOL,
finding
even
ways to
Microsoft
connect his
sniffing around,
iconic
all
status
wanting a piece of
with
the pie.
cutting-edge designs. Okay, so now we're
It's a
talking
great way to
bidding war
appeal
for the
to
future
both
of
longtime
music.
fans and
Was
new
it a cutthroat
generations.
battle? It's like
It
taking a
was
classic
intense,
recipe and
for
giving it a
sure,
modern
but
twist.
Chotty
Exactly.
played it
You
smart.
want something that
Used
feels
the
both
competition
familiar
to
and
drive up the
exciting.
price.
Okay,
Right.
so what
But
else
he was
does
also
Lieberman
thinking
recommend?
about
Another
the bigger
crucial point he
picture.
makes is the importance of
Which
authenticity.
partner would be the
Nostalgia
best
shouldn't
fit
feel
long
forced
term?
or fake.
You know,
So
It
he
has
wasn't
to
just
align
going
with
for the
brand's
biggest
core
check. He
values.
was thinking about the
Otherwise,
future
it
of
just
music
comes across as a
match.
marketing
Exactly.
play.
In the
Exactly.
end, it was
Consumers
Yahoo
can
that
spot
won
a
out,
phony
paid a whopping
a mile away.
It's like when a
$160
brand tries to
million
jump on a
for the
trend that has
company.
nothing to
Wow,
do with
that's
their product.
life-changing
It
money,
just
even
feels
split
inauthentic,
between
and it can
everyone
actually
involved.
turn people
Yeah.
off.
So
It was a
nostalgia has
testament
to feel
to
genuine,
Chotty's
like a natural
leadership,
extension of the
his
brand.
vision,
Right. It can't just be a gimmick.
his negotiation skills.
Okay, so what about
took a
using
gamble on
nostalgia
this
to be
revolutionary
creative?
idea.
She sees nostalgia
and turned
as
it
a
into
springboard
massive
for
success
creativity,
story.
not a
It's
constraint.
interesting. We hear about
So
these
don't
huge
just recreate
acquisitions
the
all the
past.
time.
Yeah.
Use it as
But we
inspiration
rarely
to
get to
create
see what
something
happens
new.
behind
Exactly,
the scenes.
like
Right.
Nintendo does with
All
their
the
marketing for the
strategizing,
Switch.
the
Okay, how so?
negotiations.
They
All
use
the back
classic
and
game
forth.
Yeah, it's like a
references and
high-stakes
characters,
poker
which appeals
game
to older for gamers.
brilliant minds,
But they also showcase the
millions of
console's
dollars at
innovative
stake,
features, which attracts
and the
younger
future of
gamers.
So they're kind of
industry's
bridging the gap
riding
between
on it.
generations.
That's a great way
Right,
to
and
put
they're
it.
doing
And
it
in
in a
this
way
case,
that feels authentic
Csathy
and
played his
exciting.
cards
That's smart.
perfectly.
He did,
And maybe the
but
most
this was just
important
one
advice
chapter
is
in
to
his
pay
story,
attention
right?
to how
Yeah,
people
he didn't
react.
just retire to
Okay,
a
so be
beach
flexible.
somewhere.
Nope.
Exactly.
This guy keeps
Nostalgia
going
can be powerful.
on the next big thing.
Always
But you
looking
need to be willing
ahead.
to adapt
And
your
that brings us to
approach
another
based on
really
feedback.
interesting part
So
of
be
his
responsive
career.
to your audience
Venture
and make sure your
capital and
message is
startups.
resonating.
So he
Right,
went from
marketing
building
is an ongoing
companies
conversation.
to
You have to listen and
investing
learn.
in them.
Exactly,
That's
but
a
I
big
think
shift.
it's also
It
important to
is,
look
but it
beyond
makes sense when you
marketing.
think
Okay,
about
so
it.
bigger
All his
picture stuff.
skills, you know?
Yeah,
He's
I'm really
got this
fascinated by
almost
how
uncanny
Gen Z's
ability
interest
to
in the past
find
might
those
actually
promising
be
shaping the
startups.
future
Yeah.
of entertainment.
Help them
We're
grow,
already seeing
guide
this
them to
resurgence of
success.
like classic
It's like he
genres
took
and
everything he
formats.
learned
Like
from building
vinyl
companies
records are back
and used it to
board
help
games
others
are
do the
huge.
same.
Exactly, and
Even
it's not
old
just about the money
sitcoms
for
like
him.
Friends
He's
and Seinfeld
actively
are
involved in
finding new
mentoring
audiences on
founders, helping
streaming.
them
It's like
strategically
Gen Z is
navigating all the
rediscovering
challenges
the
of starting a
joys of
business.
analog
So he's not just a
entertainment.
silent
In
investor,
a
he's a
digital
partner.
world.
Yeah,
A
there's
true
something
partner.
so
And that
tactile
leads
and
us
engaging
to
about those
one of
things.
his
This
latest
shift in
ventures,
preferences is
a
forcing
venture
the
fund
entertainment
focused
industry
on
to
artificial
rethink how they
intelligence.
create content.
Wait,
Create
AI
those
again.
hybrid
Didn't he do
experiences
something
that
with
cater
that
to
at
both
Creative
Gen
University?
Z's love for the
He
past
did.
and their
He
desire
sees
for something
AI
fresh.
as one
Exactly,
of those
like
truly
interactive
transformative
storytelling.
technologies,
Okay.
the
Where
kind
viewers
that
can actually
change everything,
influence the
healthcare,
narrative.
Like those choose
transportation,
your own adventure
entertainment.
books.
Yeah,
Right.
you
But
name
brought
it.
to life with
But
modern
he's
technology.
not just throwing money at
cool.
any
And then there's
AI
augmented
company.
and
He's got
virtual
specific
reality.
Oh, wow.
criteria,
I would
which can
imagine.
create
yeah.
these immersive,
He's interested in
nostalgic
companies that are
experiences.
developing
Like stepping
AI
inside your favorite
responsibly and
90s
ethically.
video game.
Yeah, making sure
Exactly. Or
benefits
attending a
humanity,
virtual
doesn't
concert
harm it.
featuring your
So
favorite
it's not
boy band
just
from
about
the early 2000s.
the profit.
The
It's about
possibilities
making
are
a
endless.
difference. This is impacting marketing too,
That's
right?
what makes Peter Chotty so
Absolutely.
fascinating.
It's about aligning
He's a
your
brilliant
brand with
businessman,
experiences and
a
ideas
leader
that
with
resonate
real
with Gen
vision,
Z's
and
and someone who's
Like that Adidas and
passionate
Lego
about using
collaboration.
tech
Oh yeah,
to
the
create a
limited
better
edition
future.
sneaker collection.
He's like a
Inspired by Legos.
modern day
It was so cool.
Renaissance man.
It tapped into Gen Z's love
Instead
for
of painting and
streetwear
sculpting,
their childhood
he's
memories.
building
It's a perfect
companies
example of how to
and
use
shaping the future of
nostalgia in a way
technology.
that feels
I like that.
authentic
Perfect way
and
to
relevant.
describe
It's
him.
not just about
So where do we
slapping a
go
logo
from
on a
here? We've
product
talked
anymore.
about
Nostalgic
music
marketing
match,
has become
the acquisition,
like an art form.
It
his
requires
move
a
into
deep
venture
understanding
capital
of
and AI.
cultural
Yeah.
trends.
We've seen
And
how he
consumer
finds
psychology.
opportunities,
The key takeaway,
builds successful
the Gen Z's
companies,
interest in
handles
the
tough
pre-tech era
negotiations.
is
We
more than
have.
just a
But
fad.
there's one
It's a
piece
sign of a
missing.
bigger cultural shift.
His work with
So how
Creative
will this
University,
trend continue to
giving
evolve?
back.
Well, it's possible
mentoring the
that
next
this
generation.
90s,
You're
early
absolutely right.
2000s
That's crucial to
nostalgia thing
understanding him and
eventually
what he
kind of fades
values.
away
All right,
and
let's
something
dive
else
into that.
takes
Tell me
over.
more about
But
Creative
maybe we'll see
University and how
early
it all
internet
fits into
culture
Peter
become a
Chotty's
thing.
impact on
Early
the
internet
world.
culture.
Think like pixelated
All right, so we've covered a
graphics,
lot of ground
dial-up
with Peter
modems.
Chotty.
Oh, wow, okay.
You know those
Master
old
deal
computers
maker,
with the giant
tech
monitor?
visionary,
You're talking
venture
like
capitalist.
MySpace and those early
But this
YouTube
Creative
videos
University
with the grainy
thing, this really
footage.
has my
Exactly.
attention.
It
It
seems
seems
like
like
more than
entertainment
just
might not
business,
be
more
about
personal,
big
you know.
blockbuster
Oh,
franchises.
absolutely.
From
Creative
But
there's
University,
also a
that's where
chance that Gen
Chotty's
Z's
passion
fascination
for
with
the
pre-tech
education and
era
mentorship
is
really
more than just a
shines
trend.
through.
It's
It's a
Okay,
nonprofit,
you're talking like
offers
societal
free
changes.
online courses,
Yeah, maybe a renewed
workshops, all
focus
that
on face-to-face
for young people.
interaction, a greater
Especially those who
appreciation
might
for
not have
analog
access to the
experiences.
A desire to
traditional
disconnect
education
from the
routes.
digital world.
So, like,
and
leveling the
reconnect with the
playing
physical
field,
world.
giving
Exactly.
everyone
So
a
as we
shot
wrap up
at the
this deep
skills
dive,
they
Okay.
need to make
I
it
think
in
the
this
big
digital
takeaway
world,
is that
no matter their
nostalgia
background.
is
That's
more than
exactly
just a
it, and the
sentimental
range of
feeling.
courses they
It's a
have.
powerful
Impressive
force that
coding,
shapes our
web
values,
development,
our
graphic
preferences,
design, music
even a
production
vision of the
future.
future, marketing, entrepreneurship.
And as technology
It's like a
keeps
one-stop
advancing,
shop for
Mhm.
anyone who
understanding
wants to work in the
nostalgia will
creative
be
industries
super
these days.
important for
Wow.
anyone
It's
who
like he
wants
took
to create
all his
meaningful
experience, the
experiences.
legal stuff.
Thanks
the
for joining
business
us on
savvy,
this
the
deep
tech
dive
knowledge,
into the world of data
and
and
created
content
this
marketing.
free learning
Until next
platform
time,
for the next
keep
generation.
exploring.
And it's not just
Keep
theory,
learning,
they're really
and keep
focused on
creating.
hands-on learning, real projects, mentorship from people actually working in the field. It's about empowering young people to be creators, not just consumers in this digital age.
We hear so much about the digital divide, right? Those who have access to tech and those who don't. It seems like Creative University is actively trying to close that gap.
For sure. And it's already making a difference. Thousands of students have gone through the program, started their own businesses, gotten jobs at top tech companies, even created their own groundbreaking tech.
So it's more than just education. It's about fostering innovation, empowering these young people to become the next leaders, the change makers. It's like planting seeds for a future
So
that's
keep
more
exploring this topic.
creative,
Pay attention to how
inclusive,
nostalgia is used
and,
around you.
Think about your own
fair.
relationship
That's a great
with the
way to
past.
put it. Because
And it all
nostalgia
goes
isn't
back to
just
Chotty's
about
vision,
reminiscing.
right?
It's about
He sees
understanding
technology as a
ourselves,
force for
where we
good,
came from,
something that can
and where we
solve
might be
problems
going.
and create opportunities.
Thanks for joining
for
us on this
everyone.
deep dive into Gen
Creative
Z's love
University is
affair
like the
with
embodiment of that,
pre-tech era.
showing young
Until next
people
time,
how to use
keep
tech
exploring,
to build a
keep
better
questioning,
world.
and
It's
keep
really
those
inspiring
nostalgic
to see
memories someone
alive.
so successful also dedicate themselves to making a positive impact. It reminds us that success isn't just about money or status. It's about leaving the world better than you found it.
I agree. And Chotty's story shows you can be successful in business and still be a force for good. It's about using what you have, your platform, your skills, your resources, to make a difference in other people's lives.
So what are the takeaways from Peter Chotty's journey? What can our listeners apply to their own lives, their careers?
Well, I'd say there are a few big ones. First, don't be afraid to break the mold. Chotty's path wasn't traditional. He's always evolving, adapting, looking for new challenges. Embrace that, Don't be afraid to forge your own path.
Love that. What else?
Invest in yourself, your education, your skills, formal degrees, self-directed learning, whatever it is, never stop growing and expanding your knowledge. That's how you spot opportunities, adapt to change, stay ahead of the game.
Okay, so be unconventional, always be learning. What else?
Be bold, take risks. Don't be afraid to fail. Chotty's career is full of bold moves. Some paid off, some didn't, but that's part of being an entrepreneur. Embrace the uncertainty, learn from your mistakes, and keep going.
And last but not least,
Remember, success isn't just about you. It's about making a positive impact on the world, whether it's mentorship, philanthropy, or just using your skills to make things better. Chotty and Creative University, that shows us you can be successful and do good at the same time.
that's a powerful message. Peter Csathy's story is a reminder that we can all shape the future, make a difference, leave a legacy. It's a call to action to embrace our creativity, pursue our passions, and use our talents to build a better world.
Well said.
So to our listeners, what will your legacy be? Go out there and make it happen. That's a wrap on this deep dive. Thanks for joining us.